To Louisville, a place where we love to live, work, create, and innovate.
It's a little bit southern, it's a little bit Midwestern.
Louisville's a great place. I'm born and raised in Louisville. I ended up leaving the city and coming back.
I am happiest when I land back in the Louisville airport. No other place feels like home.
I've got so many business colleagues that transferred here to Louisville from the bigger cities, and they've never left. They said they'll never leave.
I'm never leaving Louisville. Take a crowbar to get me out of here.
Folks love being here. Once you're here, you never want to leave.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a city across the nation right now that is doing as much progressively with parks, greenways, trail development as Louisville, Kentucky.
There's a wonderful entrepreneurial spirit. Louisville is a place to
Live, work, create, and innovate.
It's centered throughout the U.S., so it makes transportation very easy.
Culturally, you're sitting in a world-class city that's punching at the same levels as cities 10 times its size.
Urbanism, nothing like it anywhere else in the world.
Louisville's got an incredible food scene, and it just keeps getting better every year.
You can't spell Louisville without love, right?
Here you can have everything in 20 minutes. Best restaurants in the country, good art scene, good sports scene, and good people.
Louisville has a lot to offer, not just the manufacturing industry, but it's a great place to raise a family.
Still never makes me stop smiling that, you don't really know what Louisville's about until you've really been here.
Louisville is much more than Derby and basketball, but there's so many other things, and I love to just go out there and just talk about Kentucky to people.
Good schools, great parks, great arts, good medium-sized city like Louisville is where your whole family can come alive and reach their potential.
My roots go down.
Mayor Fischer, if you can hear us, we can see you, and we're ready to go.
Okay, thanks, Mayor. I appreciate it. Thank you all for having me here. It's a real honor. I want to thank Mayor Holland and Mayor James for inviting me. And I understand Mayor James is in Washington today making a pitch for Kansas City in the Smart City Challenge, and I wish him the best of luck. I know he'll do a great job representing your city and your region. He's an enthusiastic supporter. I wish circumstances were different and I could be with you all in person today, but I've always enjoyed my visits to Kansas City and hope to come again. Muhammad Ali, the champ, he truly did belong to the world, but he only had one hometown. He grew up at a modest home here in West Louisville that you see on the screen, hopefully. But through hard work and belief in himself and great compassion, he became a great athlete, humanitarian, and one of the most popular figures in human history. The outpouring of love that I've seen over the last few days has really been staggering. And I think Muhammad is a great role model for us and the work we're doing in our cities, because the qualities he demonstrated in such abundance are ones we need as well as we work on behalf of our citizens. All that said, I'm happy to speak with you today and to bring you greetings from Louisville. As you heard, we've got people coming from all over the world this week. And luckily, that's not totally new for us. We host one of the world's biggest sporting events every year on the first Saturday in May, the Kentucky Derby. And we are also the only city I know of that has a 2-week festival for a 2-minute horse race. But it's all about maximizing resources and opportunity. We begin the Derby Festival with the largest fireworks show in North America. It's called Thunder over Louisville. We've got a parade, an air show, and today the Derby brings about 160,000 visitors to Louisville and has a $225 million economic impact on our city. So that's why no matter what horse I bet on during that day, at the end of the Derby weekend, I always feel like a winner. It's a great time in our city. Now, of course, one of the questions that comes up when we get visitors is, how do you correctly pronounce the name of our city? We were founded in 1780 on the Ohio River, and our citizens wanted to thank King Louis XVI for the help he gave us to fight the British. People sometimes struggle with how to properly say our name, but I'm going to show you. So act like you have a few marbles in your mouth and 2 bourbons, and 3 syllables. The last one rhymes with full. So repeat after me. Louisville. Louisville. One more time. Louisville. All right, I can hear you guys. That's pretty good. Yeah, good job. Keep saying that. Next year, people are going to ask you who your favorite is in Missouri. So let's talk about the challenges and opportunities that we face as cities. Clearly, we live in a world that's in transformation. And as civic, business, and community leaders, we have to do more than understand that dynamic. We just really have to embrace it. And that's because our citizens need us to do more than just keep up with the pace of change. We've got to leap ahead. And there's a quote that I like. It's a little old school. It's been attributed to various people, one of whom is the great Kentuckian Abraham Lincoln. The quote is, "The best way to predict your future is to create it." And that's what we've been working to do in Louisville ever since I took office. I came into office in January 2011, and we were under the cloud of the Great Recession, just like you guys in KC. Unemployment was over 10%. We had a massive budget deficit, little or no job growth, and lots of anxiety about the future. I spent my career in business. Mayor of Louisville was my first job in government. And what my team and I really understood is that government never has all the answers, but what we can do is run a tight ship, ask the right questions, and bring people together to find the best answers for our citizens and our future. So one of our first and most fundamental questions was, as Lincoln might have said, how do we help create the future our citizens demand and deserve? And that question, of course, has multiple answers, but I'm going to focus on one critical aspect that touches every area of life in our city. It's a practice that I honed in my business life, and it's a belief in the transformative power of innovation. And it was obvious that innovation was critical to our future, especially in my first days in office when we had those severe budget challenges. And that's because innovation offers us a way to extend the reach and broad impact of our resources, which are almost always limited. In Louisville, in our city government, we have about 7,000 direct and indirect employees. We immediately organized the work of city government employees around 3 principles: daily tasks, continuous improvement, and innovation. And I've charged every department with being the best in the world at whatever they do, and why not? Somebody's got to be the best in the world, so why not us? And then our focus on constant improvement and innovation has made it possible for our city to punch way above our weight class. We trained our workforce in business improvement tools like Lean, Six Sigma, project management, and data analytics. We created the Louisville Performance Improvement Method, where we set specific measurable goals for our departments based on being best in country, and we post those goals and their progress online for anyone to see. That's open government in action. We've earned national recognition for this effort, and we're hosting the Summit on Government Performance and Innovation next week, June 15th and 16th, with Governing Magazine. We'd love to see you all there if you're really into this kind of stuff. You could even visit one of our flagship hotels, the 21C Museum Hotel on Main Street, and then working now, I know, to redevelop your all's historic and beautiful Savoy Hotel and Grill in Kansas City. 21C is a wonderful business, and they've won all kinds of awards, and have been a great leader in our hotel lineup in Louisville, and a great corporate citizen as well. So I'm excited at the prospect of Kansas City joining the 21C family. Now for us, promoting innovative businesses like 21C and hosting events like this summit are part of our ongoing effort to create a culture of innovation in our city. Most importantly, we dedicate resources by bringing innovators onto our team and by using innovation as an organizing principle for our organization. A critical step in this was that early on in my first term, we joined a mutual learning cohort of 4 other cities funded by Bloomberg Philanthropies to build innovation capacity. We then established a dedicated innovation team, we call them I-teams, that is fully focused on innovation projects. And they're led by our Chief of Civic Innovation and work as part of our Office of Performance Improvement and Innovation. So together, the innovation and performance teams work to create alignment of the department and employ data and analytics to help us track performance and align our projects and daily work with our strategic plan and tactical goals for the city, like health, education, public safety, our built environment. And this alignment and the harmony that it produces have made a huge difference and really accelerated our progress as a city. And we also use an innovation approach with external challenges. For example, for a long time, our state's two biggest cities, Louisville and Lexington, indulged in a fairly counterproductive rivalry. It's partly based on sports, University of Louisville versus University of Kentucky. It'd be our version of the border war, or Cardinals versus Royals. You all might know a little bit about that. And sure, sports are fun, but in the 21st century, we've got to think globally and marshal our resources in order to compete. And you guys get that. What you're doing with MARC is a great model of regional cooperation that other areas really should follow. But here's our story. Lexington is about 40% our size. In terms of its city population, about 300,000 people. Their mayor was elected at the same time was Mayor Jim Gray, who's another business guy who's a global operator. So he and I discarded the old non-productive rival mentality between our cities and created a regional economic development plan that is now a 2.5 million metro population opportunity. And our partnership's initial focus was advanced manufacturing in sectors like automotive, appliances, translation software, bourbon, of course. And by the way, a quirky fact, we're also one of the world's leading producers of disco balls. So our partnership with Lexington includes 22 counties in Kentucky and southern Indiana, and it's been incredibly successful. For example, 5 straight years of record-breaking export growth, with 2015 exports totaling more than $28 billion. Now in Louisville, we also bring innovation to bear on other economic and social challenges. Like the rest of the country, we don't have enough software coders. We've got thousands of good jobs that we can't fill locally, so we created Code Louisville. It's a free 12-week training session so that citizens of all ages can learn software coding. About 600 people have enrolled so far. And Code Louisville has been recognized as a national model in conjunction with the White House's Tech Hire initiative. As part of Code Louisville, we conducted a special coding class for low-income teens at the Beecher Terrace housing complex. This initiative addresses 2 challenges at once: tech job vacancies we can't fill, and persistently high rates of unemployment among young African American males. We called it Coding at the Beach. And this group of young entrepreneurs did something that really impressed us and showed us we were on the right track. So here's another short video that tells their story.
The students behind me are taking Code Louisville to a new level. They started their own web business and could be the youngest entrepreneurs in town.
Eye contact, and he's given me a firm handshake. Justin, it's my pleasure to meet you.
Words of wisdom from a man who knows a lot about the world of business.
Start off by saying, I only need 2 minutes, and I'll explain my product, and then I'll get out. But if you can get in that door, your odds go up 1,000%.
Louisville Mayor Greg Fischer's father, George Fischer, shares business advice with the city's newest entrepreneurs, local teens from the Code Louisville program, developed in the Beecher Terrace area, one of the city's most notorious housing projects. They took what they learned during the school year and started Beach Technologies. The company provides small businesses with websites at an affordable cost. The teens, all minorities, hoping to pave the way for students who look like them. Dyrese Breckenridge, a recent high school graduate, is in charge of sales. She says her perseverance and can-do attitude will be an asset to the team.
My son, he's been an inspiration to me to continue to go forward on with my life. I mean, I am going to EKU and I might be leaving him for a few months, but he knows that I'm actually doing something with my life.
President Obama met with the students in April, a meeting that also inspired the new business. A company that grew right out of Beecher Terrace, the students say they hope others can better see the good in the neighborhood.
We're making a positive organization out of what people see as the bad part of town.
The young entrepreneurs work 30 hours a week, and along with the experience, they say the extra cash doesn't hurt either. Reporting in downtown Louisville, Samantha Chapman, WDRB News.
This year, we're scaling the program to provide more young people with this opportunity, and we're making it part of my summer works effort, which is a summer jobs program that we started 5 years ago and now employs over 2,500 young people. And the Kauffman Foundation there in Kansas City has been a great partner in this effort, so big shout out to Kauffman if they're in the room. The Beach Tech story is further evidence that young people in all of our neighborhoods and at all socioeconomic levels are capable of great things. The problem, as we see too often on our streets and all over America, is that too many young people face challenges that lead them in the wrong direction. And that's why we established our Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods. Its job is to work with community partners to reduce the number of homicides, suicides, and drug overdoses in our city. Since we found Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods in 2015, it has secured almost $10 million in private and federal grants to support our efforts. One of the promising new programs is called Pivot to Peace, and this initiative intervenes with hospital patients who are receiving treatment for gunshot, knife, or other violent crime injuries, and who come from some of our highest crime zip codes. A social worker connects with them in the hospital in an effort to prevent retribution crimes and provide options to guide these citizens in our city toward a brighter, safer future. Our biggest challenge with reducing violent crime has been contacting folks who were involved or around the criminal activity. So Pivot to Peace is one of our solutions to reduce homicides, which is a growing problem, I'm sad to say, in most every U.S. city. That brings me to another Louisville innovation I'd like to share. Sometimes you know you're doing something innovative by the looks people give you when you tell them your plan. And that's what happened to me when I told people in my 2011 inaugural address that one of my top goals as mayor was to help Louisville become an even more compassionate city. And some people thought that was odd or inappropriate or that it would make me look weak, but I disagreed. I feel leaders should unite our citizens around human values like kindness and hospitality and compassion, and our citizens have responded in a huge way. We established the Mayor's Give a Day Week of Service, which is an annual celebration of compassion where citizens from all over our city come together to do volunteer projects like building beds for kids transitioning out of homeless shelters or doing painting or landscape work at a Boys and Girls Club. In this past April, we broke our own world record with about 175,000 volunteers and acts of compassion in just 1 week. So cultivating compassion as a city value is also a way of building what I call our social muscles. And we've all seen what can happen in cities like Ferguson or Baltimore when those muscles break down. We saw our social muscles tested last year. Someone painted hateful graffiti on the walls of one of our local mosques. People who attend this mosque are great citizens. They give generously of their time and resources to numerous local causes, so this really felt like a punch in the gut to the entire community. We held a press conference early the next day and invited the community to come and paint away the hate. And we didn't know what the response would be, but this final short video will tell you what happened.
As a Muslim woman here in our city, I was heartbroken on Friday night when I came here and Barbara called me and we saw what had happened at this holy mosque.
I just don't understand why it was done. There's a point to get across that this wasn't the way to do it.
In these situations, we realize we're more alike than we are different.
Muhammad commends the good people of his hometown of Louisville who have come together with compassion and love in their hearts to repair the damage done to this beautiful place of worship.
We got a lot more people here than we have building to paint. We want to line up here in 4 rows from here out. We'd like for the kids to come up first so that you can be part of this history making as well because this is yours.
We really felt really strong about it that we wanted to do something about it. We brought some solvents and things to help clean up the graffiti. It was a really good thing. I mean, just to come out and see everybody and to be a part of something bigger and this interfaith community is really nice.
Not everyone is a part of the same religion, and just the fact that everyone's taking the time to come out today and support each other shows that there really aren't that many differences between people.
It's a really cool feeling to see how many people actually come together to be a part of this whole thing and how inviting everyone is and how welcoming everyone is.
I think that the community coming together is evidence that hate can never win, that love will always win. God is love and God will always win. And I am so thankful to live in this community
This should be beginning of love, friendship, brotherhood, and a fraternity among us, people of different faiths. So please, please, continue this journey till the last day of our life.
I've never been prouder of my city than I was that day, and I call our compassion work social innovation, and it has multiple benefits. I was talking not long ago to the CEO of ComputerShare. I asked him what made the difference between his company choosing us or another city for his base of operations. And he said one reason they brought 250 new jobs to Louisville is because they liked our city's focus on compassion. So it turns out compassion is good for business too. And overall, since I first came into office, we've cut our unemployment rate in half. We've created 2,500 new companies and added over 55,000 jobs. We were the fourth fastest city in the country to recover from the Great Recession. It's important for every city to showcase its authenticity, and we've become a year-round tourism destination and welcome 16 million visitors a year. We're going to beat that this year. And part of what's attracting more people is something that's fueled by the exploding popularity of what I referred to earlier, bourbon and bourbon tourism. And we call that bourbonism. So what Napa is to wine tourism, that's what we are for bourbon tourism. I want to share something with you that's very serious. Kentucky produces 95% of the world's bourbon, and the other 5%, it's counterfeit. Avoid it. Stay away from it. So almost 1 million people journeyed on the Bourbon Trail last year. Come and check it out. You'll have a great time. So we've got great momentum, and we're working to increase it for everybody. I will close with one more example of innovation in which our citizens help us gather data around a big public health challenge, and we call these folks citizen scientists. Now, unfortunately, we've got one of the higher asthma rates in the nation due to our location in the Ohio River Valley and resulting stagnant air. And so we had to do something to help. So we worked with Propeller Health and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation to create Air Louisville. This program uses smart, GPS-connected inhalers to help collect data on when and where people are having to use their inhalers. And we combine that with data from the EPA to create a heat map for our city that you see on the screen. That tells us when and where inhaler usage is greatest, so we can better identify the connection between air quality, atmospheric conditions, and asthma flare-ups, and then share this knowledge with our citizens to improve their health outcomes. So as you can tell, I love my city, just as you love your city and your region, and that's why you all are here today. And this work we're doing to help our citizens in our cities is truly something special. And I see these as acts of great citizenship and the kind of work that Ali, the champ, once described as, quote, the work of the heart. So I want to close with one more reference to Muhammad Ali. I know I find energy in his words, and I think you will too. This is from his book, The Soul of a Butterfly, Reflections on Life's Journey. All through my life, I have been tested. My will has been tested. My courage has been tested. My soul has grown over the years, and as long as I am alive, I will continue to try to understand more, because the work of the heart is never